When President Reagan signed the mandatory minimums in 1986, the federal prison population was 36,000. Now it's well over 200,000. This is a growth that no one could have imagined.
Mass incarceration in the U.S. is really unique in human history. There's no democratic nation that's ever tried to have such a massive social experiment as we've done in incarceration.
We have more prisoners than any other country in the world ever, by rate and numbers. I mean, I find it a bit disturbing that we have more prisoners than China, and they have 1 billion more people than we do.
I don't think it gives people enough pause when they hear that we have 25% of the world's prison population and only 5% of the world's population. In other words, we are way over incarcerating compared to any other country in the world.
That motorcycle there, that's my shrink. You got to do something to feel alive.
Ron, how you been since we last met?
You know, it's still a few days and I walk around and hate myself, but most of the time I like myself. You just start reminiscing and ruminating and, you know.
Do you remember one of your first words to me when we first met? That you could never forgive yourself for what you did. And that you weren't, in your eyes, a good person.
You know, I was put in a leadership position when I was far too young to be in a leadership position. I made decisions that haunt my ass and always will. But the questions I have about it, and one of the things that is so disturbing, is how it was all unnecessary. It shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
The Anthropocene, as far as I know, was first used in the year 2000. I was director at that time of an international program on how the planet's changing, why it's changing, and so on. We had a meeting down in Mexico, and a member of our committee, in fact, the vice chair, was Paul Crutzen. He's well known for his work on the ozone hole. In fact, he's won a Nobel Prize on that. And sometime during the meeting, someone had referred to the Holocene, which is the present geological epoch we're in. And Paul burst out, well, we're not in the Holocene anymore, we're in the Anthropocene. And so the term was sort of born, I think, at that meeting.
Ideas like the Anthropocene have been around for 100 years, but nobody really took them seriously. They said that, look, the volcanoes, the earthquakes, and so on, the mountain building, these are much bigger than human effects.
And then the penny dropped for a lot of us, saying, hey, it's not just the Earth's orbit around the sun that can change a geological epoch. We're doing it. You know, we're becoming a geological force in our own right.
The most lethal danger here is that Louisiana is fast slipping away into the Gulf of Mexico waters. Thanks to a combination of hurricane damage, the man-made levee system, and the intrusion into the Gulf by big oil and gas, which dug more than 10,000 miles of exploratory canals.
The coast of Louisiana has experienced a lot of catastrophes, but coastal erosion is the biggest crisis that we have, and it's ongoing.
When you look out over this expansive horizon, anywhere you see a straight line is man-made. That's where the oil and gas industry either laid a pipeline, dredged an access canal, where they did exploration and extraction.
scientists have finally proven it to be true, something that anthropologists have always intuited to be correct, something that philosophers have always hoped to be true, and that is the fact that we're all literally brothers and sisters. We're all cut from the same genetic cloth. It means that, by definition, all human populations share the same raw genius, the same mental acuity, the same intellectual potential. And critically, what that means is that the other peoples of the world aren't failed attempts at being modern. Each culture is by definition a unique answer to a fundamental question. What does it mean to be human and alive? And when 3,000 cultures or even more in the world answer that question, those voices collectively become our human repertoire for dealing with all of the challenges that will confront us as a species in the ensuing millennia.